It was during my mostly annual viewing of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World that I noticed some specific sounds that interested me. Now, these sounds weren't normal background, walla, or ambience, although they did fit the scene. There was obviously intent, direction, and thought that went into the specific placement of these sounds. I've been practicing sound design for about 3 years now, and one of the most important questions that I've learned to ask myself is, what does this sound, or lack of sound, bring to the story? In most films directed by Edgar Wright, every sound plays a role, and Edgar is known for treating sound as one of the most important aspects of his films, and that's a great thing because it really shows in the quality of everything he makes. For example, here's a clip from Shaun of the Dead, and take a listen to the audio.
Take car, go to Mum's, kill Phil, sorry, grab Liz, go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all this to blow over. How's that for a slice of fried gold? Yeah, boy!
Each sound in that clip had a purpose, whether that was to support a transition point or to keep up with pacing, or to add impact to bring out more of a comedic effect. While doing all of that, none of the sounds felt out of place. Instead of generic whooshes and swooshes that you might have heard during that example from Shaun of the Dead, the sound design in Scott Pilgrim relies heavily on sounds that exist within the scene, bringing a level of fantastic detail while still staying larger than life. Now, for those who haven't seen it, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is an action comedy romance film directed by Edgar Wright after being adapted from Brian Lee O'Malley's graphic novel series of the same name. The film's theme in general is a crazy mix of comic book hyperrealism and 80s to early 2000s video game aesthetics, and the sound of the film reflects this with its use of primarily diegetic sounds, meaning that the sounds have sources that exist within the world of the film. In an interview with SoundWorks, Chris Burden, the re-recording mixer for Scott Pilgrim, says, "What might appear to be simple scenes have a rhythm of small, low-level sound effects running through them that are absolutely vital." And I agree with him. Although I'd seen the film many times before and I had noticed many of the other low-level sounds, I still didn't notice the ones I want to talk about today until about my 5th time watching the film. And that got me thinking, what about the sounds you don't hear? Now, I'm not saying that these quiet sounds are what makes the sound design of Scott Pilgrim so awesome. There's so many aspects of sound design that this film got spot on that I could talk about for hours, but for the sake of time, I'll be focusing on this one aspect. Here's some dialogue from one of the first scenes. Now pay attention for when you see Kim walk from right to left.
Hey, Knives, this is Steven Stills. He's the talent.
Hey.
This subtle yet effective sound adds so much to the scene while still being very hidden. It blends in with the background, and you're expecting a car, because you have the outside back there, and the inside over there, and there's probably a road there somewhere, so you'd expect a car. Now, the second, and my favorite example of this from the whole film, would be when the whole band's sitting down after playing for Knives. At the beginning of the scene here, you can see that young Neil's using a computer, and that'll play in later. Take a close listen.
Yeah, she seems awesome.
Yeah.
Scott, if your life had a face, I would punch it.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I mean, are you really happy or are you really evil?
Like, do I have ulterior motives or something? I'm offended, Kim.
Wounded even?
Hurt, Kim.
You? Hurt?
Neil, you were saying about she seems awesome?
Yeah, she seems awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you probably heard some computer sounds in the background there, and you're right. But the question I want to ask is, what do they mean? What's the significance? What do they bring to the story? Well, let's analyze it this time.
Scott, if your life had a face, I would punch it.
Yeah. Wait, what?
The sound you heard there is the Windows XP main notification sound as Scott snaps out of whatever he was thinking and realizes what Kim has just said. The notification sound in your mind is associated with, well, getting a notification. In this situation, Scott is noticing what Kim said. Let's move on to the second one.
Wounded even?
Hurt, Kim.
You? Hurt?
Neil, you were saying about she seems awesome?
Yeah, she seems awesome.
Yeah.
The Windows XP hardware removed sound can be heard here as Scott removes himself from what Kim is saying, before quickly asking Neil what he thought of Knives Chow, because it confirms what he wants to hear. This abrupt change in topic from Scott gives us our first really good look into his character, while also being punctuated by these quiet yet connotative sounds that bring more meaning to the scene than there would have been without them. If the sound design was left with just random computer whirring and whatever it was that young Neil was doing back there on his computer, the dialogue would feel less impactful and possibly lack some of its meaning. Here it is with the sounds edited out.
Yeah, she seems awesome.
Yeah.
Scott, if your life had a face, I would punch it.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I mean, are you really happy or are you really evil?
Like, do I have ulterior motives or something? I'm offended, Kim.
Wounded even?
Hurt, Kim.
You? Hurt?
Neil, you were saying about she seems awesome?
If you grew up hearing these sounds, your mind associates them with feelings that bring extra depth to the scene. And as the supervising sound editor of the film, Julian Slater, put it in his interview with SoundWorks, he hopes the audience members are blown away, not only by the rich visuals, but also by what they hear, and that's not just a level of loudness, it's a level of intricate detail. Using many quiet sounds in conjunction with loud sounds is much more effective than using just loud sounds. And it's these tiny details that I feel bring a lot of life and care to projects like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Thanks for watching. If you want to see SoundWorks Collection's interview with re-recording mixer Chris Burden, re-recording mixer Doug Cooper, and supervising sound editor Julian Slater, the link to that video will be in the description. I also highly recommend checking out 3 great video essays by Evan Pushak of the Nerdwriter, Tony Zhao of Every Frame of Painting, and Konrad of konradnoises. All 3 of their videos will be linked in the description, and you'll probably enjoy them if you like Scott Pilgrim, Edgar Wright, or good filmmaking in general.